The following are the insignia, emblems of authority, of the British Army. Badges for field officers were first introduced in 1810 and the insignia was moved to the shoulder boards in 1880 for all officers in full dress. Origins: the first British Army rank insignia were introduced in 1760. According to the Royal Clothing Warrant, general officers were distinguished by the pattern and arrangement of laces on the cuff. Badges for field officers were first introduced in 1810. These badges consisted of crowns and stars. These rank insignia were worn in shoulder epaulettes. The star is that of the Order of the Bath, except in the household regiments. The Star of the Order of the Garter is used by the Life Guards, Blues and Royals, Grenadier Guards, Coldstream Guards, Welsh Guards and Honourable Artillery Company. The Star of the Order of the Thistle is used by the Scots Guards. The Star of the Order of St. Patrick is used by the Irish Guards. The crown has varied in the past, with the King's Imperial Crown being used from 1910 until it was replaced by the St. Edward's Crown from the coronation of Elizabeth II in 1953. In 1855, after the Crimean War, a new dress regulation was published specifying changes to collars. In 1864, a new dress regulation specified the insignia of Brigadier General to be oak leaf and acorn laces of 1 inch on the upper and lower collar, and no star or crown. During 1855 to 1880, Guards infantry regimental officers wore different rank insignia. Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel and Major wore 1/2 inch regimental pattern laces on upper and lower collar with 1 crown and 1 star. Captains wore similar collars with 1 crown. Brevet majors wore similar collars with 1 star. Lieutenants wore similar lace on the upper collar with 1 crown and 1 star. Ensigns wore similar collars with 1 crown. Life Guards and Horse Guards regimental officers wore similar rank insignia to line infantry. After 1874, another dress regulation was introduced. Collar devices were the same for field and company grade officers, but the collar pattern was changed. Line, Light and Fusilier regiments used 1 pattern collar, Dragoon Guards and Dragoons used another pattern, Hussars another pattern, and Lancers another pattern. Individual types of regiment and corps used different patterns of collar. This pattern collar was continued until Queen Victoria's death. All officers' badges on service dress were originally of gilding metal, except for rifle regiments and the Royal Army Chaplains Department, which used bronze instead. A variety of alternative materials and prints have been used on various styles of dress. The insignia was moved to the shoulder boards in 1880 for all officers in full dress, when the system of crowns and stars was reorganized on similar lines to that seen today. Exceptions included the rank of Brigadier General and until 1902, a captain had just 2 stars and a lieutenant 1 star. From 1871, the rank of ensign was replaced with the rank of second lieutenant, which had no insignia. The 1902 change gave the latter a single star and the insignia of lieutenants and captains were increased to 2 and 3 stars respectively. In addition to the shoulder badges, officers' ranks were also reflected in the amount and pattern of gold lace worn on the cuffs of the full-dress tunic. Brigadier generals wore a crossed sword and baton symbol on its own. In 1922 the rank was replaced with Colonel Commandant, a title that reflected the role more accurately, but which many considered to be inappropriate in a British context. From 1928 the latter was replaced with the rank of Brigadier with a rank insignia used to this day. In 1902, a complex system of markings with bars and loops and thin drab braid above the cuff was used at first, but this was replaced in the same year by a combination of narrow rings of worsted braid around the cuff, with the full dress-style shoulder badges on a 3-pointed cuff flap. Based on equivalent naval ranks, colonels had 4 rings of braid, lieutenant colonels and majors 3, captains 2 and subalterns 1. In the case of Scottish regiments, the rings were around the top of the gauntlet-style cuff and the badges on the cuff itself. General officers still wore their badges on the shoulder strap. During World War I, some officers took to wearing tunics with the rank badges on the shoulder, as the cuff badges made them too conspicuous to snipers. This practice was frowned on outside the trenches but was given official sanction in 1917 as an optional alternative, being made permanent in 1920, when the cuff badges were abolished. Since 1921, officers who hold the rank of full colonel and above and officer cadets have also been distinguishable by colored collar patches. Today, when in combat dress, which replaced combat soldier 95, the rank slide is worn on the center of the chest, rather than on the shoulder. Historical ranks: Captain General, a full general. Sergeant Major General, shortened to Major General. Brigadier General, replaced by Colonel Commandant in 1922. Colonel Commandant, replaced by Brigadier in 1928. Sergeant Major's Major, shortened to Major. Captain Lieutenant, the lieutenant of the first company in a regiment, whose captaincy was held by the regimental colonel. On promotion to full captain, the period in this rank was treated as having been a full captain for pay and pension purposes, since he effectively commanded the company. Ensign, lowest subaltern rank in infantry regiments. Replaced in 1871 by second lieutenant, but still used to refer to second lieutenants in some guards regiments. Cornet, cavalry equivalent of ensign, replaced in 1871 by second lieutenant, but still used to refer to second lieutenants in some cavalry regiments, including the Blues and Royals and the Queen's Royal Hussars. See also, British Army other ranks. Rank insignia, British Army uniform, RAF officer ranks, Royal Navy officer rank insignia, ranks and insignia of NATO armies, United Kingdom and United States military ranks compared, comparative military ranks of World War I, comparative officer ranks of World War II, comparative military ranks, military rank, British Army, notes and references. External links: British Army rank structure and insignia, Sabre, Victorian infantry officer ranks, Napoleonic era British military ranks at armchairgeneral.com.